Islamic beliefs and practices. The Quran. Muhammad's life after he memorized his message and his words and deeds after Muhammad's death they collected his teachings and wrote them down to form the book known as the Quran. Muslims believe that the Quran to be the exact word of God as it was told to Muhammad. The central teachings in the Quran is that there is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. The Quran says people must obey Allah's commands. Muslims learned of these commands from Muhammad. Islam teaches that the world has a definite beginning and will end one day. Muhammad said that on the final day, God will judge all people. Those who had obeyed his orders will be granted life in paradise. According to the Quran, paradise is a beautiful garden full of fine food and drink. People who have not obeyed God, however, will suffer. Guidelines of behavior. Like holy books of other religions, the Quran describes acts of worship, guidelines from moral behaviors, and rules from social life. Muslims look to the Quran for guidance in their daily lives. For example, the Quran describes how to prepare for worship. Muslims must wash themselves before praying so they will be pure because before praying so that they will be pure before Allah. The Quran also tells Muslims what they should not eat or drink. Muslims are not allowed to eat pork or drink alcohol. In addition to guidelines for individual behavior, the Quran describes real relations among people. Many of these ideas changed Arabian society. For example, before Muhammad's time, many Arabs owned slaves. Although slaves didn't disappear among Muslims, the Quran encourages Muslims to free slaves. Also, women in Arabia had few rights. The Quran describes rights of women, including rights to own property, earn money, and get an education. However, most Muslim women still have fewer rights than men. Another important subject in the Quran has to do with jihad, which means to make an effort or to struggle. Jihad refers to the inner struggle people go through in their effort to obey God and behave according to Islam ways. Jihad can also mean the struggle to defend the Muslim community or historically to convert people to Islam. The word has also been translated as holy war. The Sunnah, the Quran, is not the only source of Islamic teachings. Muslims also study Hadith. Hadith is the written record of Muhammad's words and actions. This record is the basis for the Sunnah. The Sunnah refers to the way Muhammad lives. Which provides a model for the duties and the ways of life expected for Muslims. The Sunnah guides Muslims' behavior. The 5 pillars of Islam. The first duties of Muslim are known as the 5 pillars of Islam, which are the 5 of worship required for all Muslims. The first pillar is a statement of faith. At least once in their lives, Muslims must state their faith by saying, "There is no God, but God and Muhammad is his prophet." Muslims say that when they accept Islam, they also say it in their daily prayers. The second pillar of Islam is daily prayer. Muslims must pray 5 times a day before sunrise, at midday, and at late afternoon, right after sunset, and before going to bed. At each of these times, a call goes out from a mosque inviting Muslims to come pray. Muslims try to pray together at a mosque. They believe prayer is proof that someone has accepted Allah. The third pillar of Islam is a yearly donation to charity. Muslims must pay part of their wealth to a religious official. This money is used to help the poor, build mosques, or pay debts. Helping and caring for others is important in Islam. The fourth pillar is fasting. Going without food or drink, Muslims fast daily during the holy month of Ramadan. The Quran says Allah began his revelations to Muhammad in this month. During Ramadan, most Muslims will not eat or drink anything between dawn and sunset. Muslims believe fasting is a way to show that God is more important than one's own body. Fasting also reminds Muslims of people in the world who struggle to get enough food. The fifth pillar of Islam is the Hajj, a pilgrimage to Mecca. All Muslims must travel to Mecca at least once in their lives, if they can. The Kaaba in Mecca is Islam's most sacred place. The Sunnah and daily life. In addition to 5 pillars, the Sunnah has other examples of Muhammad's actions and teachings. These forms the basis of rules about how to treat others. According to Muhammad's example, people should treat guests with generosity. In addition to describing personal relations, the Sunnah provides guidelines for relations in business and government. For example, one Sunnah rule says that it is bad to owe someone money. Another rule says that people should obey their leaders. Islamic law, the Quran, and the Sunnah are important guides for how Muslims should live. They also form the basis of Islamic law, or Sharia. Sharia is a system based on Islamic sources and human reason that judges and the rightness of actions an individual or a community might take. These actions fall on a scale ranging from required to accepted, to disappointed to forbidden. Islamic law makes no distinction between religious beliefs and daily life, so Islam affects all aspects of Muslims' lives. Sharia sets rewards for good behavior and punishments for crimes. It also describes limits of authority. It was the basis for law in Muslim countries until modern times. Most Muslim countries today blend Islamic law with legal systems like those in the United States or Western Europe. Islam law is not found in one book. Instead, it is a set of opinion and writings that have changed over the centuries. Different ideas about Islamic law are found in different Muslim regions.